But let's look at the promises. In every campaign, political campaign, promises will be made. But I see a certain trend, and some people from NPP, NDC are making wild promises. Is the NDC not falling into the same trap the NPP fell in the 2016 election? Myriad promises, and this has led to the neck of the current administration being in the noose by ordinary Ghanaians. I mean, I remember the last interaction at Kempinski with the former president. I asked him about tour and a number of issues, and he made some promises. He made some promises on sports. I'll get to some of them. Mm-hmm. And he even said, look, in my future administration, if you give me the nod, people will not come and amass wealth. I will not make it possible. I do remember that the current president said something similar. If you think you're coming here to, secure wealth for yourself, and look at where we are today. So the question is the MDC not over-promising with some of what it's saying? And are you not afraid that if you fail, if you get the nod and you fail, Ghanaians will deal with you even worse than ever before?
I think the Ghanaians have always dealt with the NDC even worse than they've done with the NPP. That's not in doubt. I believe strongly that today, if this government were an NDC administration, Benjamin, the system would have collapsed completely, entirely, even under weight alone of the corruption scandals that we have, all the allegations that have gone uninvestigated, all the allegations that the president himself has sought to clear, all the impressions that the president has sought to give and has failed even to deliver. Look, I think Mr. Mahama and the NDC are actually being very cautious. And I love the fact that, as I said, right now people will ask you, give us time. How much is this going to cost? What do you think this is going to do? How do you think this will work out? There must be a good reason. Remember, we even made very partisan the issues of foreign exchange differentials. And people bought into it. They set up a whole foreign exchange committee of parliament and invited Mr. Franklin Kujo to be a part of it. What happened? Today we have the Bank of Ghana admitting to losses well over 50 billion Ghana cedis, and yet they are constructing a head office for 250 million. You see,
know those processes were triggered long before some of the meltdown
my brother, they
were facing.
Remember that sometimes they
would you rather they left it to rot like maybe we've done with the National Cathedral? Would you rather we incurred judgment debts? Would you rather
we are still incurring judgment debts. When was the last time you heard anybody in the New Patriotic Party speak about judgment debts? Have you ever asked how much it costs for government to travel and visit all these arbitration courts? I used to work in arbitration in huge international courts. I know the cost of even lawyers that you engage to represent the country. And don't forget, there was a time when judgment debts became a huge political tool. What has changed? You see, look, I think that...
Well, the cost of that and winning, at least, we've won quite a number of battles.
Well, I'm sure that every government has won
much more than every government,
and I'm sure you know that the NDC was toasted largely for going to UNCLOS and winning on the day because there were very critical issues at hand, huge sums of money at stake. In any case, how much credit have we even given? Look, Benjamin, I am telling you one thing that I know, that on any level, and you can start even vetting these conversations. John Mahama has his pulse on what is important to the citizen of Ghana. He understands this country. And I keep saying, for all the falsehoods, the propaganda, show me one thing that Mr. Akufo-Addo has been able to prove against John Mahama. And you see, politics is a human institution. If you even raise the bar, even on corruption and how both leaders handle corruption, that should tell you something. Ghana Integrity Initiative, they beat the NDC the whole time we're in office. Today, even they have thrown up their arms in the air, saying that they have lost control and that any attempt to fight corruption is now zero. The African peer review mechanism, the Afrobarometer. Look, it is not because I am Joyce that I'm saying, and that's why I keep coming back to the ridiculous impression about the sorts of things they want. Look, let's stop majoring on minors and focus on the things that make a difference. Most of our rural people are poorer now. That is from the Ghana Statistical Service. On the number of persons who are declared underemployed, the majority of them are women. And note that women drive this economy and drive this country. All of us say, can attest.
1.9 million,
absolutely.
about 1.2 million
absolutely, are women. And so when we wake up in the morning, People are interested not in the highfalutin conversations, my brother. Can you ever ask yourself, PDS, they spent $12 million, a compact that was negotiated by John Mahama and Professor John Evans Atta Mills, to benefit the energy sector through family and nepotistic debate. So you see, that's what I'm saying. Maybe a certain ajapa should have happened for me too when I was in office. Then we would not be majoring in these unnecessary conversations that we are having. Look, I was never treated differently from any other appointee, even till date. And I always tell people that I was a member of the NDC even long before Mr. Mahama even decided to run for vice president, let alone for president. My father was in the NDC. So it is not as if your politics is determined largely because you are close to John Dramani Mahama.